Happy New Year, Libra, and welcome to your January 2026 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This reading, as always, can be used for Sun, Rising, and Moon. And we're doing a little bit of a special edition here with the January forecast where I'm pulling 4 extra cards to look at the different quarters of the year. That means that the expanded forecast will be just a little bit more tightly edited, but you'll get everything that you need. Before we begin, Apollo's behind us holding some space and ready to hear what's in store for you. So why don't we get started with channeled messages? Last night, I had a really vivid vision for your sign, which was basically watching writing appear virtually out of nowhere. And the way that it came to me was someone was opening up kind of like this box. There were documents in it, like papers, books, etc. And then it was almost like I was watching the writing appear. And then I watched also as it was projected on the wall, so the writing was on the wall. So this is showing a couple of things. First of all, that refers to kind of a turn of phrase that means that you can kind of see the closure or ending of something within your own sight, but it's about recognizing that it's here. So sometimes we don't want to accept that something has come to a close, the judgment card in particular. So you see it, you know it, but it's like, am I ready to rise up and move on to the next thing? Am I ready for graduation? If you are Libra, this could be a very exciting and a very transformative month. If you aren't, the change is going to happen anyway. So you can choose between the last 2 cards of the major arcana, Judgment and the World. So accepting, embracing, and moving into expansion. Or you might be kind of stuck in something like the Hanged Man or the Tower where it happens anyway. Or you have a little bit of delay and then ultimately it still happens. I would advise you, encourage you, and hopefully kind of give you the tools today as we look at these cards here in a few moments, to basically just take that leap of faith, to go for it, because what awaits you seems so much better. I woke up with this feeling of exhilaration, not fear. I could feel every fiber of my being sort of vibrating with a higher frequency. And it's almost like, like I was being bathed in warm sunshine, and I could just feel that energy radiating through me. That's how I felt when I woke up. It was very good. But it's kind of scary sometimes to see, writing appear from nowhere. You're like, what does this mean? What's going on? Just that it's time. It's time to move forward. For those of you that are writers and communicators, it also shows me that you need to trust in your ability to communicate. The message is clear. The message wants to come through you. And there seemed to be some hesitation about, can I do it? Is it the time? Yes, it is the time. You can also use, by the way, your skills with communication, but particularly written communication. And when you write it, it's almost, you're creating like a contract between yourself and the universe, and something magical can happen. So use a journal if you've never done that before, and see if when you write things in there, affirmations in particular, if it doesn't start to cement in like your own sort of confidence, open up doors for synchronicities, and help you process what feels to me like a release from one chapter into another. And one thing that Spirit's saying even right now is have faith that, a story is unfolding, something bigger, better, brighter, and that there is a pattern to it. It's just a matter of paying attention and reading the signs. Even if it wasn't what you expected when you expected, I get very auspicious energy. It feels like it wants to be Judgment and the World. There's resistance, but don't resist the change. The change allows you to grow. When one door closes, 1 or 2 or 3 may be opening. The past is very much the past, and there's no need to relive or rerun those old sort of stories. Write a new chapter. Write a happy ending. Do something fun. Let the internal creative and author and communicator within you write a better chapter, write a better ending, okay? So let's begin, and I'll allow you to choose your own adventure as we do this, all right? Let's get started. All right, Libra, please take a moment, close your eyes. Imagine that there is a bright ray of sunshine creating this beautiful circle around your body, and within this circle you can invite in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. Know that you are protected and connected to Source as well. All right, let's get started here with your Catalyst card. In the Catalyst position, we have an affirmation. It's basically saying you're worthy. When I saw this, echoing from Spirit was, but are you ready? Because this is a given. You're worthy and the work has been done. Synchronicity or an opportunity is right within reach. It's ripe for the picking. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe you're worth it, then there may be no traction or action or movement towards that opportunity. Open yourself up. This is kind of like, this can be the Temperance Angel, this can be the Ace of Cups or the Queen of Cups, but that big jug or chalice is kind of reminding me of that ability to allow things to flow through you. The Star card as well. All of these are good, receptive energies. So just stay receptive to things and think, I'm ready, worthy, and willing to go after that opportunity, to allow this synchronicity to come into my life and to take shape and form, okay? All right, as we take a look at the cards here, right at the center we have the Devil, but the Devil's in the reverse position. And as I look at this, it's almost like it's coming from something that was said. And I'm getting like biting your tongue. There might have been someone in your life that got you to say something or do something that you wish you hadn't done. So they were able to get under your skin and elicit a reaction. But I think for many of you, it's more that there was someone who said something that hurt. And it could have been that thought, that sort of projection where they took away that feeling of self-worth. And pardon the sirens in the background, but it kind of is appropriate for this particular card. This is the wake-up call, just like the sirens, that, you know, that is very much in the past. That was very much one person's opinion. And they would have been better if they actually had bitten their tongue and not said that. The words also can cut deeply here. So this tongue is holding the two people in place. He's got like chains with this. So someone may have asked for something that wasn't fair. And you're now clear enough, energetically, emotionally, maybe even maturity-wise, that you can see that it was actually more a representation of them than you. So for those of you that are feeling a sort of like momentary sense of, I don't know if I can do this, trace it back a little bit and see if that doesn't come historically from someone in the past, okay? Limiting thoughts. So the Devil can just sometimes hold you back because you think, I don't know if I can do this. Here's a easier picture to look at. If you think it's impossible, it actually holds you still. And you become beholden to the I can't, it won't, or I'll never sort of energy, and you're just stuck there, controlled by fear. So one of the ways to clear the energy of the Devil, and it's already starting to clear because it was reversed, is just to say, why can't I? Let me give it a shot. I owe it to myself to explore this. In a relationship, in a job, and in an opportunity, if someone wants more from you than is fair, takes more than is necessary, or can't give you what you want or need, you deserve something better. Back to the first and most powerful message. You're worthy, and you're worth more than that. I think some of you might just be waking up to an understanding that you want more, and it's okay. What you received today was some confirmation and affirmation that, yes, you are worthy, and we're going to help you get there, okay? Crossing this card, we have the Ten of Cups, a very good card. Love, partnership, friendship. This can actually be what helps you cope with these maybe limiting thoughts or that person, place, or thing. So lean on the support around you. It's overflowing. There may also be a desire for this in your life. The Devil sometimes is a person. If you're dating someone, whether it's an old relationship or a new one, and they don't want to go the distance and help you realize the beauty that is the Ten of Cups, then maybe it's not a match. And the same thing, if you're not looking for this, then free them so that both of you can look for and find what you want and need. This is a time where family might also be putting more pressure on you. So if we take out sort of the love equation piece, it might also be peer and familial pressure because they're trying to come from a good place. There's love, but they're trying to control the outcome. A parent can come in and say, when are you going to give me grandchildren? A friend can say, why don't you act more like this or that? I would like you more. Comparison and what's the other word? Conditions being put on the love that is already part of the Ten of Cups. So it's not true love. It's not unconditional love. It's conditional love. So take a step back and let them know you're more than enough just the way you are. Like that song from, was it Billy Joel? I love you just the way you are. You need to emanate that energy. Listen to that. Love yourself the way you are. And if someone else can't do the same, you can find something better, okay? I know that because as we look at the deep past, we have the Emperor. You've worked on a sense of self, knowing yourself, feeling strong about who you are. And I do feel like you know yourself pretty well. People can get in your head. The best of us, there can be people in our life that just kind of like gaslight us or get in our heads a little bit, but don't let them. You came to this reading today to realize it's not just you, and it's okay to walk away. And what they're doing or saying isn't all right, okay? Love yourself enough to find someone who sees you for the strong person that you are. Now, taking relationships out of the equation, this is also just about power and empowerment. And as you're stepping into new opportunities right now, don't let someone sweet talk you into a bad deal. This could be a bad deal with respect to, a project, a contract, a house, love. Someone is getting a better end of the bargain. And meanwhile, you're worth more. We have the Emperor card showing just how powerful and worthy you are, but someone can kind of like sweet talk you too. There's a lot of different ways that the Ten of Cups can work. Sometimes it's trying to come from a good place, but it's falling flat, and sometimes it's just deceptive. But know this, you're going to be okay. There's just a little bit of a temptation at the beginning of the month. And that is what I like about this, because this version of the devil shows that sometimes the devil can be beautiful. Something looks really good on the surface, but once you dig beneath it, it's not all that it's kind of cracked up to be. In the recent past, we have Four of Cups. The Four of Cups can be a blessing in disguise. You're focusing so much on either what is or isn't happening in front of you that you might become skeptical about what actually still is about to unfold. So in this deck, what I like is they've taken an elevated view of it. So they can see this, the Three Cups in front, but they're focusing, unlike most standard decks, on the opportunity of the Fourth Cup. So I'm going to highlight the other one to show you why I like this. Typically, the person is disgruntled, frustrated, or a little bit impatient, and they're thinking, when is it my turn? When is it going to happen for me? What I would say to this sort of line of thinking is it doesn't help you get any closer to the goal at hand. Here's the two different interpretations. So this is Rider-Waite-Smith. This is what is. He's kind of looking down towards that, and he's missing the floating ace. In this Universal Celtic deck, what they've done is taken the floating ace, and they're only focusing on the opportunity, and they're forgetting, or they're just kind of like saying, that's what was, this is what will be. Very much focused on the possibility rather than the lack. So that's the big difference. This is on the lack, this is on the potential. If you're willing to focus on what's possible, it unlocks the potential that is the King of Wands. And this really portends good things because this card is connected to leadership, inspiration, and also your own sort of intuition. And this is where your head is at right now, which is fantastic. January is a really great time to focus on leadership opportunities, stepping up at work, stepping up even in your family or living situation, and deciding to take the reins, to communicate what it is that you want. For those of you that were looking to launch a business or start something new, the King of Wands is one of the ultimate organizational cards. Maybe second only to like the Emperor or even the Hierophant. Creating structure, leading others, inspiring others. This is very much, sort of walk the walk. By demonstrating who you are and what you want to do, by the time you talk the talk, people will already believe in you because you embody all of that which you're trying to inspire, create, or sort of like conduct around you. So definitely lean into creating a practice, embodying it, and really feeling this energy of worthiness, creativity, and inspiration. I feel very good about business and personal development in particular in January. I love the 1-2 combination here in the near future. We have 7 of Pentacles. We'll talk about this in a moment, but in short, growth, healing, recovery. 8 of Pentacles, the ability to really set things into motion. So you're headed in a good direction. Like I said, the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of embracing necessary change. So here's your Seven of Pentacles. We have a cute little kid on this card. He's being distracted by shiny things. We have these little forest imps trying to distract him. So the first message is you can't afford to be distracted because the next step around you is really, really good. I'm going to pull some traditional cards here just to kind of help set the stage. Your traditional Seven of Pentacles shows someone that's impatient. We can see the growth. You can see those little vines growing. We can see all the pentacles starting to take shape and form. But look at that guy. He's thinking, I want more. I want it faster. Why isn't it here? The very next step, though, is more than enough. And whatever lull, whatever extra time you might have, you're going to wish you had it in maybe a few weeks or months. So we have two different energies competing against each other here. This sort of need to rush, and then in the future, you're going to wish you had the resting time. So just be present, just be patient. Just to kind of help you see why, in this card, they've put the bulk of the energy beneath the surface. Growth and recovery takes time, and a lot of it happens in ways that aren't necessarily visible to everybody, including you, on the surface. So keep the faith, keep the hope, and also stay focused. Don't get distracted. What we see coming through representing you is Eight of Pentacles. It's a card where you're really starting to learn the lesson and also just produce something amazing. So when it comes to work and personal development, you're exactly in the sweet spot. Don't rush, never give up on quality, always focus on what matters most, and you'll be fine. This is also a card connected to education. So if you're thinking of getting some training, doing some sort of enrichment activity that's going to give you new skills or experience, yes, emphatically yes. Mentorship, teaching, training, all of those are part of this. Curriculum, if there's something that you want to write or create or put into motion, also a part of this. And I mentioned the power of writing. So this card, much like Three of Pentacles, is connected to writing. That little chisel that he's creating, you could be putting together a plan, a proposal, or some sort of a contract. And he's making sure that it's word perfect, that everything measures up. And he's discerning potentially what didn't work before or what needs to change from this devil energy at the center. All right, in the environment, we have the moon. The moon and the devil work together in tarot, basically. The moon can represent fears, anxieties, temptation, or a lack of authenticity or honesty. So there could be someone around you that is just trying to test and see, are you serious about your boundaries? Are you going to push back if I don't do enough? Or if I try to put a contract in front of you and, are you paying attention to it? So pay attention. That's the main thing that the moon wants you to do. And don't take the bait. Don't get distracted. Focus on what matters, because the 7 and 8 of Pentacles are showing me that you've got this. Embracing this in its highest frequency, the moon is intuition. The moon is leadership. The moon is reflection. So this is a time to really reflect upon your goal or goals, if there are multiple goals. It's a time to also not give into temptation or competition, and walk the straight and narrow path that typically leads to the moon. Here we kind of see it going in the water, but there's always that path leading to something bigger, better, brighter. We don't have the dog and the wolf on this card, but typically they're there, and that represents this sort of like nexus between what you've been told or expected to do and what you want to do. So you're going to have to find a path that isn't completely throwing everything out. You have to exist in a world and be a team player and all of that, but you don't have to sacrifice your happiness or your morals to get to the finish line, okay? Stay honest, lead with integrity, and shine brightly. Also be your own source of illumination. The moon reflects, but you are the source that the moon is kind of shining back at you. And then we have a wonderful card, two actually in rapid succession. We're going to start off with the Strength card. Hopes, fears, opportunities. If you're afraid, you shouldn't be. We have strength here coming through, reminding you that whatever challenge is in front of you, you have the capacity, you have the skills, you have the strength or tenacity to make it happen. Typically, we would see this person putting their hands in the mouth of a lion. Here we have a bear. I actually kind of like the bear because it can represent something that has been hibernating, a skill, a dream, a vision. You're awakening that When you wake up from a nap or sleep, you're a little groggy. So one of the challenges this month is getting clarity in this sort of reconnection with something that's been beneath the surface. I'll pull the traditional card while we're talking too. There could also be someone in your life that is willing to test your boundaries. So this can be parent, teacher, friend stepping in, anybody that's an authority figure. They come in and they're trying to put words in your mouth or trying to micromanage. They might be checking in like, hey, how are you doing on this? Or have you finished this? Or it's really important, don't forget. And all of that stuff kind of gets in under your skin sometimes. Just push back and say, yes, I have it, and I'll ask for help if I need it. In the meantime, just give me some space to finish. This person doesn't often observe limits. They're more than happy to keep testing. But whenever strength comes through in the upright position, all you have to really do is establish your boundaries, and they'll probably back down. They can see that you've got this. Prove that you've got this. I think that's really key. Now, we have one of the best cards to wrap this up in the Celtic Cross, and it's the sun. The sun is powerful because in our own solar system, it's the core, it's the center, and everything rotates around it. And as a representation of you, it's your charisma, it's your power, it's your ability to conduct and to pull things into your life too. In a love situation, a lot of times there's 2 or 3 decks that will actually have 2 lovers in front of the sun. It represents this elevated love, unconditional love, the opposite of the devil at the center, and also just this beautiful connection in the solar plexus, like people that aren't testing each other's power. They're there as partners. I feel like your partnership energy could be really, really great in this moment in time. So whether it's business or love or just life in general, you could make a great connection. You might have to cut the strings with that devil energy first, but when you do, the sun comes through to tell you like things are only going to get better. The sun is also a birthing card. I'm getting the traditional one while we're talking. So we have a little baby on this card, and it represents setting something into motion. You are experienced. We have, I think, a stag on this particular card. So there's age and experience, but there's always this feeling of fear or anxiety when we birth or set something into motion. Have fun with it, though, and really lead with this sense of passion, excitement, and charisma, and people will be able to see what's going on in that 7th chakra, all of the ideas, all of the potential. And when you're speaking, pull things up from the solar plexus. Have good posture, really use your diaphragm, and don't second guess yourself in this moment in time. I'm excited to see how this expands, so let's take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. In the energy of health, we have day and night. So the first thing is we could just take this at face value. You may actually be spending too much time staying up late, whether it's for fun, for work, or friends are distracting you. Make sure that there's a proper balance between the two. Some of you might have also recently taken on a job or an activity that requires you to work at night, and you kind of have your days and nights mixed up. So that's one thing. The other thing here is this represents like a binary difference. It's the difference of night and day. Sometimes we use that turn of phrase. So there could be a really big shift that is happening in your life, and it requires recalibration. It takes a minute to adjust. Give yourself time. Also, give yourself time to see it from a new perspective. So one of my favorite pieces of advice is to sleep on a major decision. Give yourself a night to rest on it, see how you feel the next day. And when you do that, you know, like, oh, was it just an ephemeral thing where I was feeling stressed in the moment or excited in the moment? Or is it something that's persisting and I really want this? So give yourself enough time to make a good decision, okay? Like, really interesting here that we got the sun and the moon right here. So this is the outcome. This is in the environment. There could be someone coming into your life that's bringing sort of like a complement to your energy. The thing to remember here is they're reflecting what you're putting out. So even though we're not looking at love and relationships, a little bit of that is coming in. And one of the great ways that you can make a change in your life is to be whatever it is that you're trying to find in work, in relationships, and in life in general. Because as you start to become it, it reflects back at you. Now let's take a look at this from a different perspective. So these two cards, which this is telling me to pay attention to, sun and moon, day and night. The sun in health, solar plexus energy. Stomach. And it can also just be the muscles around that stomach, diaphragm. And for some of you, there could be issues with digestion. There could be some stress because of, a leadership opportunity or a relationship issue. Some of you might be pregnant, but we're looking at a lot of things that could go on in the stomach area or around that area, because really the belly button's a little bit lower. But when I think of that, I also think of children because that's where the umbilical cord is connected. So relationships between parents and children, pregnancy, digestive issues, and confidence issues all coming up and affecting the stomach, which then can sort of like have health indications as well. The moon in health represents moon cycles for women. So there may be sort of like an erratic pattern to your period. There could be pregnancy. This card is also connected with that. For both men and women, it's urinary tract infections or the amount of water that you might be putting into your diet. So suffice it to say, if you're going through any of this, it might be a good time to see specialists like a urologist, OBGYN, or general physician, because these things can actually take place in different parts of your body, and you might need to get an expert in those situations. All right, now let's just look at it from other perspectives. The devil at the center can represent a habit that no longer serves your highest good. So this can be maybe not getting enough sleep, maybe not eating the right things. Maybe there's an addiction that you want to release, like smoking or drinking or something of that nature. The way that you can do that is through this card, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is support. So there might be a group that you can join that keeps you accountable and gives you the support that you need. Stagnation in sitting too much with the Emperor energy. It's time to get up, stretch. We have the Strength card here, focus on the physical well-being. Because we are spiritual beings in a physical body, so we have to have strength in our body. And each of us have a different amount of stress that we can put on it. So make sure that whatever exercise you're doing feels right for you. Don't get pushed into something that doesn't resonate with your body. Other than that, things are actually pretty manageable. This was the main focus, and this is what the card wanted us to focus on. So we did. All right, so now we are going to take a look at the next portion, which is wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. The card for wealth is come home to your body. We were just talking about that a few moments ago, the importance of making sure that you are healthy in order to be able to embrace all the opportunities. Because if you have a hard time sleeping or a hard time focusing, or you just keep getting sick, you won't be able to embrace all of the opportunities that are knocking at the door. And interestingly enough, we can see one of the focal points on this card is the heart center, really making sure that there's a sense of happiness and satisfaction. And we don't always look at that when we're focusing on the energy of wealth. We look at what people want us to do, expect us to do. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. When you really work in a perfect job situation, it feels like you're coming home, not going to work. And there should be a place also where the environment isn't toxic. So as I briefly break this down, let's make sure you feel at home where you work. And when you leave work, you're also doing things that create a sense of distance and space and compartmentalization, so that you're not bringing all of that energy into every part of your life. Boundaries are really going to be important. All right, briefly breaking this down. For those of you that are currently employed, here's what I see for you. And we're just going to highlight a couple of the high levels in each of these so that we can get to the 4 quarters of the year. All right. If you're employed, the Devil card can represent a feeling of being trapped, sometimes a glass ceiling. Talk to some other people, see if they're experiencing the same. There's power in numbers. The Ten of Cups reminds you of the importance of that. The Moon and the Sun card also shows me that there could be a really great partnership at work where you guys are able to vibe off of each other, lean into that. Strength card, 8 of Pentacles, the work that you're doing and the detail that you're putting into it will serve you well. There might be a temptation or distraction in front of you to either rush or do something half-hearted. Don't do that. Remember that you're worthy and you're capable, and if someone can't see that, try to find someone at work that can. The Emperor and the King of Wands actually are very good allies. There might be someone else that can help you get through this person who lacks imagination. Try to remove any thoughts that you can't, you won't, or you'll never, because everything else in the spread actually shows me that you're very capable in this moment in time. So it's a good month with a few distractions or temptations, or like a person that lacks either integrity or imagination. But if we can get past them, and I think you can, the rest of the month is pretty good. So the important thing is listen to your common sense, your consciousness, and your guides. They're going to help you avoid that devil energy. For the entrepreneurs, I think it's really important to pay attention to the proximity of the devil and the Seven of Pentacles. So the traditional Seven of Pentacles, which I showed you a couple of moments ago, and I will find again, has this sense of being rushed or rushing himself. So if you're trying to rush a product, service, or something out into production, don't. Because there will be people that are paying attention and kind of picking at the fine details, which we see here in the Eight of Pentacles. So you want to make sure that everything meets the specifications that you need. This can also be an inspector coming in. It will be far better for you to just launch something a little bit later than to cut a corner. So don't cut corners. That's the first message for entrepreneurs. You might be taking on too much yourself. This can be a control freak card. Instead of doing it all on your own, bring in an expert or two, even if it's seasonal help, to assist you with this in this moment in time. And make sure that you're getting what you deserve when it comes to the bottom line, that you're not undercutting your product or service, and make sure that people are also getting reasonable cost of living and even raises in general if they're doing a good job. If anybody's doing something that they shouldn't, you have to address it ASAP. But I really see this as a temptation to cut a corner. Don't cut corners, okay? Moving on to job seekers. Can you find something? Yes. It's really important for you not to underestimate the importance of an environment. You can't afford something that doesn't feel welcoming. And everybody this month, but particularly job seekers, should be focusing on the culture of the company. There's one that it just doesn't match. And also I feel like you can do better even in the compensation. So we see compensation that's not ideal in an environment that doesn't match your needs. There's another one here where there's a little bit of fear. You're out of your comfort zone, but it feels much better. And it's a little bit more of a step-up opportunity. So don't take the first option if it isn't good enough for you. Even if you need something immediately, there might be something better. Unless, of course, you immediately need to bring in some sort of revenue. I know there are times when you need to do that. Then very much see this as a stopgap. It's something that's going to help you get to the next level. Don't waste too much time there, though. If it's not, I've said this before, but if something doesn't feel right on the first day, first meeting, first conversation, or at the contract phase where you're negotiating, probably never is going to be. So be realistic about that, okay? Students, the main thing here is distraction. Again, with this little baby that is getting distracted from all the shiny things, it's important for you not to kind of like when it comes to your schedule, your time, and your obligations, not to fall short of them. I'm all for having fun, but there might be something that is taking too much of your time and energy up, and it's important to let that go. Don't overdo it when it comes to studying, drinking caffeine, working out of, like sometimes we have to work and go to school at the same time. There might be too much on your sort of your semester load. You might have to take a class off. Something around resource management is off. Also, when it comes to how much you can afford per year, make sure that it's within your budget. Those are the main things, because everything else looks really good. Time and energy management, and not overdoing something. That is going to help you stay focused and accomplish what you set out to do. For the retirees out there, an increased focus on physical strength, looking at investments in money and making sure that there isn't something that is, again, maybe not the best use of your money, because when you're retired, you're not always earning as much and you have to be smarter. So doing less, but getting more out of that. Maybe there's a service that you're not using, like a streaming service, and you just decide to cut some corners there. And that's a good example of something that can be cut. If you haven't watched something in 5 months, you're probably not going to need it. I also see an increased focus on children. The sun could actually literally be a child of yours, or you're deciding to get involved with maybe youth organizations or things of that nature. Okay. Now let's move on to the next category, which is love and relationships. We have Gabriel coming through divine emergence And the card says, it is time to be seen. Don't be afraid of of your power and your gifts. Again, with the writing being on the wall, Gabriel being one of the best cards for communication, it's time to share your vision, your passion, and your wisdom with others. The books that I saw could be you deciding to teach, or you deciding to talk, or you deciding to mentor. And that could be really exciting right now. Even though we're looking at relationships, these are relationships. This is sort of like giving back to the community. It's almost, it could be at any stage or phase of life, but I think for many of you, it could be the continuation of students and retirees coming into this. Giving and receiving knowledge, definitely a part of relationships right now. But Gabriel is just about talking. So let's break it down into 3 categories. If you're in a relationship, the devil's at the center. There's something that needs to be discussed or disclosed, but there's fear. There could be fear because of what the larger family may think or feel. All that matters is the 2 of you. And what I like about this is there's 2 very similar energies. The Emperor is pretty much equal to the King of Wands. They're just in major and minor arcana. They both hold their own ground. They both have great ideas. The difference here is the King of Wands is going to show what they feel or think. The Emperor may simply say it, or they're going to wait for you to come to them. So meet in the middle. And it doesn't have to be black or white, night and day. There's compromise. The fine art of compromise is important for existing partnerships. Talk about money, talk about time and energy. That is important as well. The good news with the Strength and the Sun card is it does feel like you're going to be able to resolve whatever that devil might represent. It could just be something out of your control, something going on with the job, something going on with your health. Work together, lean on one another. You'll be all right if you do that. Single and looking. I would say leave the past in the past with the devil here. Some of you might actually still be getting out of a relationship or a divorce. Make sure all of that is wrapped up before you get into something new. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces might be coming in. We also have a Leo here. I like these energies. I would say leave the fire sign in the past, or leave whatever X is here also in the past. If you're co-parenting, which you might be since we have the Sun, that's okay, but you're going to have some strong boundaries. That being said, can you find love? Yes. But your self-care is the most important thing. And I think it's the latter part of the month when the water sign or the Leo might be coming into your life. They may be attached to a child as well. So we might be finding someone who has adopted on their own, might be previously married and now divorced, and they have a child. So if that's something you're interested in, great. If not, then the Scorpio seems to be potentially, or Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces might be a little bit more on their own right now. The thing I'm seeing for both of you, though, is a desire to focus on personal development or money. So just make sure there's enough time in your schedule. Finally, if you're single and happy, good for you. It's going to simplify things. There still are some fears or anxieties that need to be dealt with. For many of you, it could just be looking at your bank account and your schedule and making sure that you're not getting, stretched too thin. What I like about this right now is the ability to set into motion anything that you want right now. So we have four boss cards. You have a great potential right now to lead. You have a great chance for development. And if you go to school, you can master whatever it is that you're trying to study. And overall, I think this could be a very productive month for you in business, in finance, and in personal development. Finally, let's look at the Destiny card before we get into the 4 quarters. We have a runic message here: seed, fertility, and potential. I mentioned pregnancy coming through. This can also just be like abundance and fertility. But Inguz comes through and she's reminding us of our ability to plant a seed of intention that may not fully germinate in this month, but as we look 3 months from now, there might be something really exciting coming through. So this is a nice segue. We're going to go into a quarterly forecast and we'll see when those seeds might bloom. So the quarterly forecast is going to take us through basically 3-month intervals of this year. Let me go ahead and shuffle the cards first and then we'll break it down. Okay, let's get started. Quarter 1, 2, interesting, 3, and 4. We'll start off with Q1, which is the January, February, and March portion of the year. Great stuff. Knight of Cups energy. So things are creatively starting to gallop forward like we see here. There might be new love, relationships, and passion projects on the horizon. This is a period also where you might be more inclined to move forward and fight for whatever it is that you want. Knight of Cups energy is very, very, very favorable. There could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy coming through into your life, and I like what I see here. So if there's anything that you are really excited about, this is the time to get it going, particularly since we saw the next period carries a tower. So plant the seeds of intention in these first 3 months. They could blossom quite nicely. And the other thing is, people are drawn to what you're excited about. So don't do something just because it's expected. Do something because it really illuminates you in all the chakras, and you just feel like, this is why I came to the planet. This is who I am. So love, creativity, passion, and opportunities are really starting to come forth in this first part of the year. And it's good news. We like the Knight of Cups. All right, Q2, April, May, and June, it gets exciting. We have the Tower. The Tower is in the upright position. There is something coming through right now where you can probably already see it since it's this far out. It could be a shift in the way that you're working. The writing on the wall, this is where it happens, April, May, and June. The devil at the center of the spread is a feeling of stagnation, being trapped, or an understanding that something isn't enough. You get to plant seeds in the first 3 months with the Knight of Cups helping you gallop along, and then things start to get real and exciting in April, May, and June. One of the towers could be good news. Hey, it's happening sooner than you thought. A tower could also be the kind of discombobulation that's in kind of attached to a change. Wow, I was so used to doing this. It feels weird to be doing this. A tower can be also something that you can't control but have to do anyway. Like I wish I could keep this relationship, this job, this habit, but it's not working anymore. So the one way to lean into this energy in April, May, and June is to embrace change, be the agent of change, explore new opportunities, put yourself out of your comfort zone, and start to really pay attention to where the road is leading. So if something is kind of crumbling and isn't working, let it go. It's okay. Remember what I said, where one door closes, another opens. So if something better awaits you, let's see what the next quarter is bringing forth. Well, it's pretty exciting. The High Priestess. So not only can you see the tower coming, but you can probably use the tower to your benefit. You could say, all right, clearly I'm done with this. It isn't working, but now I have permission. Now I can go for this. And I can start to do something that really is aligned with who I am. This is the period where it's whatever you want to make of it. You could launch a business. You could manifest a relationship. You could really start to do something that maybe even surprises you. This is leadership. This is creativity. This is spirituality. And this card is confirming, potentially for those of you that are a little nervous of the tower, that you will land on your feet. The tower represents movement and sometimes shaky movement, but you're going to land on your feet, kind of like a cat, and you'll be able to hit the ground running, okay? Really lean into possibility in that third quarter of the year. Finally, wrapping up the year, back into the feisty energy of knights. We have the Knight of Swords, action. We have a bull here, or an ox. This is good for finances. So let's say in the second quarter, something shifted, new job, new relationship, or a move. By the fourth quarter of the year, about 6 months after that happens, we see things speeding forward, particularly with business and finance. This is like the symbol on Wall Street, you'll see a bull. So whenever I see that, it shows that things have turned around. And if there was any sort of downturn or challenge, it has been solved by this point in time. Also, breakneck speed. October, November, and December will not be sleepy months for you this upcoming year. And I mean, it's powerful because many of it's your birthday period, right? For October, for some of you. So even the previous month, September and October, are looking really, really good. So Libra season, fantastic. And this is a period where your dreams, your ideas, your communication, and your ability to just make things happen, it's off the charts. So as I'm looking at all the quarters here, it starts off strong. There's some bumpy energy around, fourth, fifth, and sixth month of the year, but the rest of the year is pretty good. It looks like overall, Libra, you have an exciting year ahead. So stay positive, stay affirmative. One of the affirmations is you are worthy. I hope you're ready as well. All right, we're going to look at one final question, one final card. Go ahead and ask the universe whatever it is that I haven't already answered. We'll shuffle and we'll see what's coming through. All right, we have a great card here for your final question. If I can lift it up here. We have the Queen of Cups coming through. This is an affirmative. So if you asked a yes or a no, it's a yes. Some additional color to this question. I love the starfish. The starfish is a symbol of recovery, nicely connected to this. Financial recovery, health recovery, also mending of the heart. This is opening you up to love, partnership. This is exciting. Creativity, dreams, manifesting. I really encourage you to stay positive. Focus on what's possible. We talked earlier about that sort of contrast between, what's in front of you and what you wish was in front of you. So basically these two cards here, this is impatience, this is manifestation. Lean into the energy of manifestation and believe that what you want is en route, because we saw in the third quarter of the year this beautiful high priestess energy. So I do think that your dreams are close to coming true. So keep me posted. If you enjoyed this, by the way, please show some love and support. To leave a comment, all you have to do is subscribe. It's free to subscribe to the channel, but you do have to be a subscriber to comment. So thank you in advance for doing that. You can show some love and support through PayPal. I know some of you don't really want to work here with YouTube, so you can send me a direct contribution through PayPal. All the links are listed on my website, but they're also in the main channel page. You can also join me on social media. It's my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. And again, you can go to my main YouTube channel page or my website to get all of those links. And you can give back if you're already a member of this channel through stickers and also memberships as well. I just want to say thanks to everybody that does that, because I couldn't do this without your love and support. So thank you in advance. Let's wrap up by saying hello to Apollo, and then we'll call it for the day. Hey, buddy, are you a good boy? Yes, you are. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. All right, folks, have a great one. I'll see you soon. Until next time, be well.